Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're watching Now You Know Tesla Time News.
Episode 17.
Hey, Happy New Year. All right, for all of you drivers out there who are driving with Autopilot 2.0, there has been an update. Tesla has started pushing Autopilot 2.0 software update to 1,000 cars. Now, this is to verify that the software is working correctly. And if it is, then the rest of the AP 2.0 fleet will get it in the next week, according to tweets on New Year's Eve from Elon.
Great. That's so good because people who have gotten this upgraded package, they haven't been able to use it yet.
Yeah, so cars got it as early as October, and they've been driving around basically without all the fun stuff, right? Auto steer, tactical cruise control, and so now hopefully in the next week or two you'll start to get your cool features.
Hey, so you know the show Adam Ruins Everything with Adam Conover?
Oh yeah, the guy on True TV and College Humor.
Right, so he's done a lot of episodes of his show where he ruins things, basically. So car dealerships, prisons, engagement rings, all sorts of stuff.
War on drugs.
Right, and it's usually very informative, very fact-based. He cites all sorts of different sources.
And we usually agree with them.
I almost always agree with him. However, he just released an episode last week where he argues that buying a Tesla will not help the environment.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
So we've gone through this whole episode. We are going to be posting a rebuttal to his episode. We're going to be, coming out with a video of our own, going through some of his arguments, and
they were weak arguments.
They were very weak arguments. They're based on really old data.
And they almost seem like they were sponsored by someone else other than himself. It almost seemed like oil companies or someone had come in because they were misleading. A lot of the arguments were actually in our favor, but the way they were the
way they were worded was
very misleading.
Pretty wrong, too, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking for a rebuttal episode to that.
Yes, so definitely stay tuned.
We're going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
So on Tesla's website, they have a page where they show how many billions of miles Tesla cars have driven. Guess what that number's up to?
Like 1 billion miles?
Yeah, remember when they announced 1 billion? They're up to 3.5 billion miles. They've added 500 million miles in just the past 3 months alone.
Wow.
So if you go to this that we're pointing down to right now, this website below, this is where Tesla has a updating counter that you can watch live as the numbers.
It's a live ticker. That's awesome.
And it just shows how many billions of miles all the Tesla cars in the fleet have driven.
That is so cool. Okay, so most often you're going to catch a German government official driving a
BMW?
A German car, right.
Okay.
But last week, Johannes Remmel, the German Environment Minister of North Rhine-Westphalia, bought a Tesla Model S.
Okay. That's cool. Good
so
for
he
him.
bought a 90D, his official car at the cost of $115,000. So many Germans were upset about this pricey purchase, but Remmel said that it was the only EV brand available with the range to get him from his district to the capital.
That's really interesting. I just learned that Germany has a 4,000 euro incentive for cars with a base price of 60,000 euros or less. And Tesla actually unbundled their prices so that their cars could qualify for this tax incentive.
That's great.
So that's good news for the German taxpayers, right? Because they'll be saving a few euros. And we applaud Remmel. And it's interesting to note that Daimler, BMW, and Volkswagen don't have any EVs yet that have the range that the Tesla has, and that's why he had to buy a Tesla.
That's why a lot of people have to buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
Right.
And so good for him. He's the environment minister. He should be showing everyone that he's driving an EV.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so a stunning video from the Netherlands shows how amazing Autopilot can be. The video shows a Tesla Autopilot warning the driver a second before anything obvious goes wrong on the road. So just watch this. It's amazing.
Yeah, so what happened here?
So the Tesla knew that there was going to be a car accident in front of it before it actually happened.
What I want to know is, as I watched this video, and I watched it many times, I can't see anything that would have alerted me as the driver that something was going wrong. So how did the Tesla know that?
Right, so there's no way that you as the driver would have been able to predict this accident because you can't see through the car in front of you. Right? But the Tesla can see under that car and can see the car in front of it.
So he saw that it was slamming on its brakes.
It knew that there was a car
2 cars ahead.
2 cars ahead was too slow, and that the next car was going too fast, and that there was going to be a collision. And so it warned the driver. The driver applied the brake with well enough time to stop before it would have been involved in this accident.
It would have been involved in the accident, which could have hurt the Tesla driver, could have also hurt the other drivers as well, having this new car crash into them.
And the cars behind him would not have known to slow down.
Right. So
another thing is, towards the end of the video, you see him actually get out of the car and start to help.
Right.
So I mean, not only are you preventing someone from getting hurt, you are actively making sure that person, instead of being hurt, is now helping.
Yes.
I mean, that's
incredible. And the other part that I want to point out is this warned the driver of the Tesla, which can, you're driving along on a highway, you could be chatting or looking at the radio. Having that warning come up gives you a second of time. And a second at going at 60 or 70 or 80 miles an hour is a lot of distance.
It's a lot of time.
And so that is all it takes for an accident to happen or to be stopped from happening.
Especially before you could even see it and react.
Right.
I mean, it's at least, I would say, 2 seconds before you even have applied the brake.
Right. So, I mean, it gave the Tesla driver almost like a future, being able to see into the future.
That's amazing.
It really is amazing. All right, so this next video is also interesting. It shows that a Tesla Autopilot can drive without clear lane markers. Now, we were driving home this past week. We were coming home from New York, and we drove in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And we noticed that the car could go into autopilot even when there were no good lane markings on the road.
Right. And it was just like, how could they do this?
And this video is showing the same thing. So a
lot of other Tesla drivers have been asking this question. As most people know, Tesla Autopilot 1 uses front-facing cameras, radar, GPS, ultrasonic sensors, and an inertial measurement unit, or IMU.
Wait, what's an inertial measurement unit?
So it's measuring the inertia of the car to know,
how far you've gone?
It's shifted, it's changing, it knows where it is, basically.
Now, Autopilot 1, that's what we have in Sparky.
Right. So it doesn't have any of the side-facing cameras or anything like that, but using all of its sensors in conjunction with each other, it can run the autopilot. And it can also use what it knows through the fleet learning to follow a path that many other cars have used before.
Oh, wait, so it kind of knows where the road is already because other Teslas have driven on the road and charted it.
Right, so it can be following it using GPS and all of its other sensors, and its other sensors are looking for differences to make sure that nothing has gone wrong. There's not a tree across the road or someone pulling into your lane.
And so that's why the blue lines will sometimes disappear on either side of your road in your display, showing that it can't really read those line markings, but it still knows there's a gray area where your car is with defined lines, and it knows that there should be a road there.
Right, and so this is helpful because it means that the autopilot, it's not really supposed to be used for this purpose of just driving, using only dead reckoning, but it is useful for when you can't see the road lines, either if they're faded or something like that. It helps the car from not freaking out. Because if you don't have fleet learning or GPS or other things like that, which a lot of other cars will have some sort of thing where it's mainly just based off of a camera, because it's using this huge suite of sensors, it's able to really know where it is at all times and not freak out if it loses, I don't have a really good read on the road using my cameras. I can see the curb using my ultrasonic sensors. It can sort of piece things together.
And it really was comforting driving home in a snowstorm, having whenever I could turn on autopilot, it just was like my heart rate went down and everything got way more comfortable.
I mean, driving in a blizzard is one of the most stressful things you can do. And, having a second driver almost really helps you.
It's amazing. So this next story is taking place in Missouri, and I'm going to call it the ice state.
Isn't it the come on state or the
show me state?
The show me state?
Well, it used to be that, but for me, it's the ice state. You know why?
Why?
Because a Missouri Circuit Court Judge Joseph L. Green, now it's a funny last name, you're going to hear why, he ruled in favor of the Missouri Auto Dealers Association, their interpretation of a Missouri law that will keep Tesla from renewing its dealer's license in that state.
But wait a minute, what does that mean?
That means that Tesla will no longer be able to sell its cars to consumers as it has been for the past 4 years. Now,
4 years?
Yeah. For the past 4 years, Tesla has been able to sell cars in Missouri, in St. Louis, and so forth. But now, because of this judge, no longer.
What the heck?
Yeah. So if you live in Missouri and you'd like to see Tesla be able to continue to hire people for sales jobs and service jobs in your state, you should contact your legislature and let them know how you feel. And in fact, we just found out that Judge Green, who was appointed by Governor Nixon, will be up for a retention vote So keep that in mind at the next election, and maybe don't vote green.
Interesting. So there's one just quick thing to note about this, and that Tesla is filing for an appeal, and basically that's just so it can keep the people that it's hired employed for this period, and it'll make sure that all the people who have ordered cars aren't all of a sudden going to not be able to get them.
Right, or have to, I mean, with a lot of states where this has happened, you have to go to a neighboring state, and that's just bringing business out of your state, so you don't want that to happen.
It's completely short-sighted.
It really is short-sighted. I mean, come on, Missouri. Get your act together.
All right, so Ford has announced its next generation of autonomous test vehicles using the Ford Fusion Hybrid, featuring a better integrated sensor suite.
This is so exciting.
Right.
Wow.
So Ford plans to have a fully autonomous vehicle by 2021. Isn't that exciting?
Isn't it 2017 right now?
Yep.
And doesn't Tesla already have all this pretty much?
Okay, sure, but I mean...
Well, okay, but what does it look like? It's going to look pretty cool.
Pretty nifty.
Let me see what it looks like.
Check it out. It's got
whoa.
all this tech and hardware. You strap it all to the hood. It looks really good.
Wait a minute. So on one side there is a Ford Fusion. On the other side is a Ford Fusion with all this tech stuff on it.
Well, no. Actually, the Ford Fusion on the left has like the first version of it.
Okay.
The second version is on the right, so that you can see all the improvements they've made. You see all that stuff, all that cool stuff? That's all improvements.
To help me out here.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a Tesla Model X with Autopilot 1.0.
Right.
And there is a picture right next to it of Autopilot 2.0.
Are you sure? How can you tell?
Well,
wouldn't you rather have a bunch of stuff on the roof? But
I zoomed in and I looked that it has Autopilot 2.0. Wouldn't you rather have cars that you can't really tell all these things sticking out from them?
Oh.
Wait, so Ford thinks it's a nice idea to just have things sticking out and computers sticking out, shoved in the back and wires everywhere?
I mean, I don't know.
And why did they make a video showing this off? Like, they have a 1-minute video where they show off how advanced they are. It doesn't look advanced compared to the Tesla. Why are they even bothering? So, I mean, let's be real here. I'm going to be real now. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It looks like this is a video made for Facebook. Like it looks like your grandmother's supposed to share this with you on Facebook and say, "Ooh, look how advanced Ford is. I sure love Ford because they're But I mean, what a joke when you compare it to a Tesla driving itself. It just seems like someone in corporate was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to keep my job. I better put out a video and show that my department's doing something."
Right.
And so they're testing 20 vehicles in Michigan and California.
It's a joke.
With all this equipment, and yeah, it's a catch-up game, and they're not even doing it. Why don't they just copy Tesla? Okay, just copy Tesla, put little cameras on, and try and copy them as best as possible. Because you know what, they're doing it right. Thank you for watching this episode of Tesla Time News 17. Your support is what makes this possible. So Thank you so much for subscribing. And I want to mention again that subscribe. I heard this even today from someone who said, "Wait, so subscribe doesn't cost money?"
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's a dumb name. Let's get YouTube to change it. It should be called follow. Follow me. So subscribe, follow us on YouTube. And all that's going to do by pressing the subscribe button and that little bell button is it's going to let you follow us. And whenever we have a new video out, it's going to let you know, which of course you want to know.
So that little bell button is important because it'll give you a little notification on your phone if you watch YouTube on your phone, or it will give you a little alert on YouTube when you log into YouTube that just says that we've had a new video released, because otherwise it might be a little bit hard to find.
Right.
You can do this with any subscriptions that you like, any YouTube channels that you like.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost any money.
It's totally free.
It's just YouTube's way of doing it.
And also, just a quick thing, if you hit the like button, YouTube will see that you've liked it and say, "This person has liked it. Maybe I should share it with other people." So if you like this video and you want to share it with other people that maybe you just don't even know, but who algorithmically probably would enjoy it, please hit the like button, because it would make a huge difference to us and some stranger who's going to find this video and hopefully really enjoy it.
And please comment below. So right now we're going to be reading a comment from last week's comments to see who had a great comment.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we got a comment this week from someone about the Adam Ruins Everything episode.
Yeah, so this is from The Morgan T. He says, "Hey, Zach and Jesse, maybe that clip from Adam Ruins Everything about electric cars in general and the Tesla Model 3 in particular, could you make it as a topic of one of your next videos?" And he's put the link to Adam Ruins Everything, hit that YouTube video. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's because of your comment that we're actually going to be making our video. We've already started scripting it. It was, a little upsetting to us, I think, because we like Adam Conover a lot. We watch his shows and we generally agree with him. But this week, when the Tesla video came out, and it's about a guy who just gets out of a Prius and he's thinking, I want to get the new Model 3, and he goes and talks about it, and then Adam, of course, ruins everything and tells him how that's a bad idea and it won't help the environment. And all the arguments that Adam comes up with are very weak in our opinion, and we've looked through all the citations that he gave, and even those articles are not strong for his argument. So we are going to be making an episode this week, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Now you know.